Hello everybody. As you can see over here, I got some new clay. But this is the clay that I usually think is like the best, right, for throwing. I opened up a bag today and it felt like I was touching creamy Jif squeezable peanut butter. So I'm a little bit worried that I'm not gonna get I'm not gonna get the nice quality of throwing that I like, but we're gonna give it a shot and we'll see how it goes. But I'm excited to be with you guys today, and I'm looking forward to seeing what we make. So I'll see you guys in a second. All right, peace. All right, here we go. All right. Boom, boom, boom. We got our sponge is where? Our sponge is right here. Get a little bit of water on there. And our wire tool is over here. All right, guys. Clay, like I said, it's just so soft, right? Like I'm barely pushing on it, but let's just see what we can get out of the clay here. And then, what am I doing? Why did I just do that? All right, guys, today is a little bit chaotic. Okay, well, here we go. Oh no. Yeah, guys. I think this is gonna be worse than the other clay, because the other clay, at least it was really stretchy. This clay is not stretchy at all. It's more short. But we'll give it a shot. Also, are we focused on the camera here? Look at that, we're not even focused. Oh my god. Dude, I can already tell I'm gonna be irritated today. Alright, I think that's pretty good. Yeah. Alright, let's go, guys. And I've just been sneezing nonstop today. And I had to move a bunch of pots from down here upstairs, and so that was kind of a whole process, and so I'm a little bit later today, so I gotta make sure I'm not taking like way too long. And I don't know if I threw something on the ground, but I'm getting so much dust kick up too, and it's not healthy, you know what I mean? And I don't really have a nice ventilation down here, so. Alright, I'm gonna stop complaining. But I hope you guys are doing well today. And if you're not doing well, I hope you at least did something valuable. So we are down at the bottom again. chill. Nice. Right before it lost itself. Okay. So let's get some more water out of here. And then we can work on this a little bit. I'm just really disappointed, you know? It's like, I know I could just let the clay just kind of sit out for a little bit, but I don't really have that time. You know, that's why I buy the clay. 1, 2, 3. I ripped right through it there. Too thin. 4, ripped through it again. Oh no. Okay. This one's gonna be a little wacky, but I think it'll be okay. We got a lot of holes in it. Opening that up. Okay. We're just gonna kind of set it on center and then twist it back on center there. Okay. Open this downward. Go to the bottom here. Lift up this edge. Nice. I've been really struggling to find like playlists that I think would be cool. I feel like a lot of the stuff that we listen to on here is stuff that we've kind of heard before, and I don't know if you guys want to see repeats or not. Dang it. Too thin, so now I gotta be careful. Slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So take these up. I'm just taking these flanges. This is the one that totally ripped off, but we can do something with that, you know? Like, it doesn't necessarily mean it's over. Flap them in just like that. Great. Dang, now I'm flying through the air. Holy cow. Okay. Alright, so there's number 1, guys. I think this one's okay. Right? There's number 1. Set it over here. Number 2. All right. Okay. Okay. Taking that clay up. I feel some of those slight little bubbles in the clay, but I don't get too scared about it. Just letting that clay push right through my hand there, right to the top. Nice. Hammer fist is coming down. I'm opening up the clay. I open up the clay again, but just trying to thin out that bottom a little bit, right? Get a nice little spiral. Nice. A little weird. I already have some bad undulation in that bottom part, so I'm a little bit worried about that. First pull's okay. Getting ready for the second pull. Squishing that clay down ever so slightly. But just being very... I don't know why it got so thin there all of a sudden. Like, what is going on here? Okay, we're gonna try to do a collar from the bottom here. Okay. And you can see how since we didn't stretch the clay and we were just realigning it, any undulation we had got exaggerated on that top edge, right? So now we're kind of going to try to do a nice little compression. Okay, we just gotta chill. Oh, man. You know, we're getting a little bit more height on these pots, but what's the height worth? You know, oh, come on. What's the height worth? What the heck just happened? Now I'm in space. But what's the height worth when the forms are just too thin? You can't even get any nice, tall, cool shapes. All the shapes are just kind of all collapsing, way too thin. I mean, just look at that. I don't even know what to do with this. And watch, if I try to... Oh, this is Minecraft. Just chill. Allow it to just be a little bit wacky, I guess. That's okay. You know, guys, I am really, really frustrated right now. But you're gonna have weeks, you're gonna have months, you're gonna have years where you're gonna be just like, just miserable, you know, and you can't let those moments like define, you know, it's like the same thing, you know, you never want to let somebody else have any influence over how you act, right? Because then in some manifestation, they own a little spot in your mind, right? They're taking up that space, and I think that that's just unacceptable for me, right? I don't know if you guys allow that or not, but for me, I just can't allow that to happen. And in the same way, I gotta be careful about how I let these slight hiccups influence my day. Last night, Went to bed at like 2. I was almost late for work today. I was like, oh gosh, this is starting to fall, so I'm gonna realign this on the middle part. You know, not too bad. You know, some of these, they're turning out okay, even though they're not ideal. And recently I had a really bad hangnail on my middle finger here, and this one, and oh, Christ guys, I like ripped half my nail off. So every time I put pressure on it, I think it starts to bleed and it stings. But here's number 2. But I'm not complaining. I feel like I've had worse pains. One of the worst pains I think I ever felt in my life was I used to get a ton of ear infections, and I still get them, but not to the extent as I had them when I was young. Oh my gosh. My eardrums would always fill up with so much fluid that they would burst. Like the eardrum would literally pop open, and a bunch of fluid and blood, and I'd lose my hearing in that ear for a little bit. And that was like the most miserable thing, because you know eventually it's gonna burst, and then you're just sitting there as the fluid's building up and building up and building up. And if you ever hit your eardrum with a cotton swab, you kind of know how that feeling is. It's not too great. So I just can't. I never want to have to deal with that feeling again, first of all. But that, I think, was the worst pain ever. I can remember there was one time where me and my mom was, she was just kind of taking care of me because she knows how bad it hurt. And I remember I was just like sitting on the couch, just in completely broken down mentally, right? Like I couldn't even cry. I was just miserable, and I was laying my head down on a pillow on her lap as I was just waiting for I could feel it. I could even hear the pressure building up right in my head, and eventually it bursted, and it was just, it was so painful. But that, I think, by far is the worst pain I felt. But here we are, guys. I'm trying to get something pretty good on this one. I think we're listening to Undertale. Oh, you know what? That'd be a really good one to listen to next, is the Undertale playlist. Okay. Anyway, I gotta focus on what we're doing here. So here I am. I'm opening up this bottom of this clay. I'm gonna keep it a little bit tighter than what I normally do. I'm pulling this to the side here. Has a little bit of a bubble. That's okay. Here I am, right underneath. And I'm just being really soft, right? I don't want to take too much, because the clay is soft, right? So you want to be a little bit chill. Okay. Okay. Down at the bottom here, guys. Look at that, just, it gets too thin right on that top edge. It's really unfortunate. Okay. Okay, here we go. Really look at that, how drastic that collar is, guys. And then I'm slow on that top edge, curling my finger right over that top, right? This is normally what I'd be able to do without collaring it, you know? And so it's a little bit unfortunate that I can't do that right now. Get a little bit of water down in there. Getting down at that base. Push that clay down. And I'm pulling this clay up, and we're just being very, very gentle. It's almost like I'm using the pressure as if like two mice were like flirting with each other, and one of the mice tried to make a move and gave the other mouse a peck on the cheek. You know, that's the amount of pressure I'm using. And so that's kind of how I imagine things. You know, sometimes it really helps when you think about pressure and how much and where to put your fingers and all this other stuff on clay, is if you give everything something like a little metaphor or something, right? And so here I am at the bottom. Some of these pots over here are totally just falling apart, but that looks okay. All right, so now I'm going at the bottom here, guys. So here we begin, and we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, there we go, 25. And then slowly allow that to start twisting. I mean, look at that, guys. You see how it slowly is twisting down? Slowly curling on itself. And this clay is so soft, right? So we have to be just as soft when we open up this top. We want a little bit of water because any little catch can throw that whole top off, right? And here we are, slowly opening that clay up, extending our fingers out. Curl that up at the top edge just a little bit. Slowly let go. Look at that, guys. I think this one looks really great. Alrighty. Keeping that bottom, there's this little bubble in there, so we just got to be wary of that when we start to pull this up. Get our knife tool right up underneath, saying hello. Right to the bottom. Nice. Alright, here we are. Finger right underneath there. And I'm just going to see if I can get a little bit of water underneath so I can do just a normal pull. And I don't need to pull too much, right? I just need to pull ever so slightly enough so when I cut, I have enough thickness where first that it's not just going to collapse because it's right at that edge. But I think we're going to be okay here, guys. And let's just take a deep breath. You know, we're in this pasture in the middle of nowhere right now. We look like we're in the back, the wallpaper for Windows 95. And we're just slicing this across that edge. Very nice and slow. There you go, guys. Every single slice, we're just being very, very calm, cool, collected. If you need to take a little bit of a break in between each little slice, go for it. That's not a big deal. You know, it's a lot better to just kind of take a little bit of a second to, you know, what's the word? Regroup yourself than it would be to like force a movement when you're not ready for it, right? And so I think that that's another key, is kind of being prepared for things on ceramics, right? You want to be able to be reactionary, right? That's my whole practice with clay is all about being reactionary. But you got to train yourself to become reactionary. You don't just like instantly can do it, right? I mean, you see all the reactionary painters and like the splatter painters, and you see all the slack that they get online, that like people saying, how's this art and stuff like that. Whatever your opinion on it, doesn't matter, right? But people are recognizing some lack of intention, right? Or some lack of professionalism. And so I think part of your goal, or is my goal at least, in ceramics, is I don't want my work to, you know, it's okay if it's questioned, but I want it to be a debate, rather than just a one-sided thing, right? I look in the comment section and it's like 90% of people call that stuff not art, and it's a little bit stressful, like if that was the case for like these pots. And so I think that it's important for me to be able to answer some of that through the forms that I'm making being so intense and sporadic, but also with that amount that I make, you know. And so, but there we go, guys. That's number 3. I'm gonna catch you guys over there in a second, so, and I'll have all of them together. So I'll see you guys in one moment. Peace. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. I know this clay was a little bit softer, but I do think that we got some, you know, some cool pots today. And the one right in, I think it's like right there. I think we got some cool ones today, despite it being a little bit rocky of a start and the clay being like Jif peanut butter. But yeah, guys, I think we had a good result. I especially like this pot right here. I think that one looks really nice. But thank you guys so much for watching. All the best. Strong mentality. Peace.